It's a beautiful Thursday morning, and I'd like to welcome you to the first episode of many series of our banking and blockchain program. My name is Olubumi, and I'll be your host. This series is proudly brought to you by CNETv, and we'll be having it every Thursday, 1 p.m. Nigerian time. Banking has experienced significant growth and development over the last few decades. We'll be looking at a lot of topics, and we'll be bringing in experts from all around the world to discuss how blockchain can be applied to banking, use cases that can be used for blockchain in banking. Now, first, blockchain is not a cryptocurrency. Blockchain and Bitcoin are two different things. Blockchain is a technology. Bitcoin or every other cryptocurrencies are currencies. These currencies are built on blockchain technology.
Today we are going to be discussing more. We are going to be delving more into financial services. Why is blockchain not mainstream in Africa? Why are financial services companies and banks in Africa not using blockchain as much as we've spoken about the applications and the use cases? And here I have a very amazing person. When you hear about BTC King, that is the man, that's D. Duncan. But generally, what do you think the challenges are? Because it's expected that such a technology that carries such power and can give us such a huge solution to a lot of our problems is not.
Welcome to another episode of Banks and Blockchain. I'm so glad to see you again, and I'm so glad that you're seeing me yet again. My name is Olubumi, and this program is proudly brought to you by CNETv. And Banks and Blockchain is basically a program where we discuss blockchain issues, we discuss blockchain projects, we discuss blockchain subjects as regards to financial services, to the financial services industries. We talk about the applications of blockchain, and we also do a lot of blockchain education because we feel like it is very, very important for us as a continent to learn about this technology that is here to change our lives entirely. And like I always say, blockchain is going to change your life whether you like it or not, whether you know about it or not. So please join me today. I would like you to be very attentive because by popular demand, I am doing a blockchain 101. So we are going all over again from the beginning, everything, the basics, the major things, the concepts of blockchain technology, what you need to know, the most important things. We talk a bit about cryptocurrency, yes, very, very key. We speak about e-naira, which is very important, one of the very important subjects that we've come across. And we just do a very, very good overview, a succinct summary of everything as regards blockchain technology. So please stay tuned. I'll just go on a very, very short break. Then when we come back, we delve directly into our subject for today. Back viewers, we just went on a very short break, and like I said earlier, we'll be doing blockchain 101. So please, if you have any questions whatsoever, if you are watching on the CNETv app, there is a portion where you can ask questions. So please go ahead, ask questions, put it on the space for the questions. If it's on YouTube, go on YouTube, ask the questions. I will ensure to answer every one of them as much as possible. But I'm sure I'm going to cover a lot of the questions that you might be having. You can also send an email to banksandblockchain@gmail.com if you have any reason to ask, if you have any questions whatsoever, if you have any partnership deals or anything like that, please head marketing project, blockchain project that you would like us to get on. We are open to partnerships, we are open to discussions, we are open to anything that gives advancement to blockchain technology in Africa. We are a Nigerian project, an African project, anything that has to do with blockchain, please get to us, banksandblockchain@gmail.com. So let's go directly into our subject for today, blockchain 101, know the basics. So we start. I have what I'm going to be going through. Blockchain, I'm going to define it. We are going to speak about the types of blockchain that we have. We'll be going to the concepts in blockchain. We're speaking about the applications, which I did an episode or 2 episodes about 2 episodes or 3 episodes ago. We spoke about the applications and use cases. So we're just doing a summary of that. We'll be speaking about cryptocurrency, which of course is the most popular use case of blockchain technology. Then we'll be speaking about e-Naira, which is a CBDC, that is central bank digital currency, and a lot of the questions about how you will invest in blockchain. I'm going to be covering that. I think that's going to be very interesting. So let's go into blockchain. Let's define what exactly blockchain is. So we speak a lot about blockchain technology in technology forums. So if you go to YouTube now and type blockchain, you see a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of people trying to define it, a lot of people trying to talk about what blockchain is and what blockchain is not. But then I'm going to bring it to the African circle. Let's just do a blockchain for, say, 15-year-olds or 10-year-olds. So we are all seated, and this is an analogy by someone I respect a lot. We are all seated in a village square, in an African village, and every of us, say we're about 10 or 15, and everyone we all have, there's a blackboard. I'm sure we all know what a blackboard is. There's a blackboard and we have a chalk. So they've chosen me, Olubumi, to be the one documenting things on the blackboard. And everyone says, oh yes, Mr. A, you owe Mr. B 10, whatever, maybe 10,000 CDs, 10,000 Naira or whatever, in whatever unit of currency it is. I document it. A owes B this. Then B owes C 7,000. So from the 10,000 that A is going to pay B, it takes out 7,000 and is owing Mr. C. Then Mr. C is supposed to pay Mr. D. So all of these transactions, all of this information, all of this data is put on a particular blackboard. Everybody can see it, every one of us. So that is simply what blockchain technology is, or what a blockchain is. So every data, each one of them is a block. So saying that information I'm putting there, saying that Mr. A owes Mr. B so and so amount, is a block of data. Then every one of them together, all of them, they are connected. So because I'm progressing from B to C, saying that C owes D, every one of this information is very key in the old scheme of things. That's on the old blackboard. The old blackboard is assumed to be the blockchain, because all these blocks of data are all connected. So that's just simply what it is. Then if I go to the blackboard and claim one of the information, everybody sees it. Everybody is asking, why are you taking out that information from there? Everybody is able to ask questions. So that means I cannot just go to the blackboard and change whatever information, except I come to the old village square and say, hey, Mr. D says that he's not owing Mr. C, so I have to clear off that 4th line or that 3rd line. Everybody agrees and say, oh yes, it is true. Then we are able to do that. So the blockchain is immutability, that is unchangeable. So you cannot change it without a consensus That is just the idea behind blockchain technology. That is the simplest of ways that we can understand, and this is applicable to so many things that we'll be looking at. So I think on my slide I say that imagine a world where you can send money directly to someone without a bank. You don't have to imagine it again, it's already happening. So right now I can send funds, I can send money, what we call money, that's the cryptocurrency, from point A to point B. Point A could be Lagos, Nigeria. Point B could be somewhere in Zambia, could be somewhere in South Africa, could be somewhere in Egypt, could be somewhere in anywhere in the world, anywhere, and the person gets value almost immediately without needing a bank. So I'm not using any bank to send that money. I am doing a peer-to-peer transaction without anybody in the middle, no middleman. It also applies to, remember that I spoke about the blackboard. There are no middlemen in this thing. Every one of us are the ones that agree. So there is nobody that comes and says, oh, is the intermediary between me and my people in the village square, or between anybody in that place. So that is what the blockchain has come to bring. It has taken out the middlemen, which also takes out the exorbitant fees. And I'm going to be saying it's not just applicable to currency. I'm saying this as an example because it is the most used, it's the most popular use case and the first use case of blockchain technology. There are so many other ones that I'll be speaking about. So basically blockchain technology in 2021 is what the internet was maybe in 1991, because if you had come to speak about the internet maybe in the 1990s, people will start looking at you like you're saying balderdash or you're saying jargon. So imagine you're able to text somebody, I'm able to send information from wherever I am in the world, say Mozambique, I'm able to send information to someone far in Texas, and the person is getting the information immediately. If you had told me that if I was around in the 1990s, but say I was around in the 70s or in the 80s, I'll be like, I don't get. I have to send letter. You have to write letters. You have to do emails that take forever to even send. Or do you have emails? Yes, you have to do like information. You have to send information through channels that will take forever to get to that person. So blockchain technology is the same thing now that I'm explaining to you. It looks very, very bogus and it looks complex. But then that exactly was what the internet is. So it's a revolution. Blockchain is already bringing decentralizing a lot of information. So a quick, a bit technical definition of what the blockchain is. It's an immutable, that means unchangeable means of transacting or a file recorded that cannot be changed. So it's an immutable distributed digital ledger. So I'm sure that we all know what a ledger is. A ledger is a record book. So that's where all records are stored. That's on a ledger. So this one is just a digital ledger of transactions, of data, of information, of anything in multiple places on a computer network. So we call those computer network nodes. And this has many use cases even beyond cryptocurrency. So next we'll just be taking a look at, I think it's very important to speak about the history of anything that it is that we are looking at. So I think the most important part of it is when it exactly started. So a lot of people date anything blockchain back to Satoshi Nakamoto, that we'll be speaking about shortly. But then even before the 2000s, we already had a blockchain protocol. So the first blockchain protocol or blockchain-like protocol was first proposed by a cryptographer. And I'm also going to speak about cryptography, which is how. So all those information, all those data that are on the blockchain, or let me say on the blackboard, everything I'm putting on the blackboard, all that information is encrypted. So it cannot be easily seen except you are within our village square. So other people from outside, when they come to our village square and they are not members of my village, or they are not citizens of my village or dwellers, they cannot see that information because they're encrypted in a language that only us understand. So that's what cryptography is. Cryptography is able to encrypt information or data. So the first blockchain-like protocol was in 1982 by David Chom. Then in 1991 we had Stuart Alba and Scott Stonetta. Those are very, very key people in the history of blockchain. and these ones, they wrote about their work on different blockchain protocols and different computer nodes and consortiums. Then in year 2008, which was the biggest breakthrough for anything blockchain, was when Satoshi Nakamoto, we don't know if it's a group of people, it's an individual, it's a man or a woman, but that alias is Satoshi Nakamoto, invented the first blockchain network, and he deployed it to be used as a digital currency, which is called Bitcoin. And the first set of Bitcoins to be sent was 10 BTC, that's 10 Bitcoins. I wish I had even one Bitcoin like this. I would be a very big man. One Bitcoin is going for about $60,000, and you can imagine then times 10, that's $600,000. But then it was not worth that at that point in time, in I think it was 2009. So the first set of Bitcoins, or the first use of blockchain technology, was when it was deployed on the Bitcoin blockchain. So this is why it is very popular. That's why you hear when people always confuse blockchain for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, blockchain is the technology on which that cryptocurrency was built or it was used. When we come back from this very short break, we'll be going into the types of blockchain. We'll be speaking about the concepts. We'll also be speaking elaborately on cryptocurrencies, the mining of Bitcoin, and all of that. So please stay tuned. My name remains Olubumi. Welcome back, viewers. So we've been speaking about blockchain 101. We've been speaking about the basics of blockchain, and we've gone into definition. We've spoken about definition. We've given an analogy of how best to understand what blockchain is and what blockchain technology is. And we've already said what blockchain is not, of course. We've given the history. We understand that it's very, very key to speak about the history of anything that you would like to break down or you like to give information about. So next we'll be going to the types. We'll be speaking about the concepts of blockchain, the very, very important concepts or features of blockchain, and we would also be doing some of the applications. We're speaking about the applications and the use cases. Yeah, and of course we'll speak about disadvantages, because everything that has advantage also has, everything that has advantage also has disadvantages. So we will not shy away from that. We'll speak about some of the drawbacks of blockchain technology as regards all the use cases, and yes, we'll speak about how you can invest in it or the careers that you have in blockchain technology. So first, let's just do the types. We have two basic types. I think there are about 4 types, but the most important ones for you to note is the public blockchain and the private blockchain. So because blockchain basically is just decentralized across networks of computers, which we call nodes, and is accessible to anyone that is on that blockchain, anyone that has authority to be on the blockchain, or anyone that wants to request or validate a transaction on the blockchain. That's why basically a basic blockchain is is public, so everybody can access it. Everybody sees what is going on the ledger. Everybody can apply to be part. Everybody can leave. Anybody can do anything. I mean, hard information, but of course you cannot change information without a consensus. So it is decentralized. However, it is immutable, which means it is unchangeable. The data you put is not easily changeable, and it can also not be hacked. We'll be speaking about that, the security, a bit later. So we have the public blockchain, which is decentralized and everyone has access to. Then we have the private blockchain, which is maybe not the concept of blockchain that we'll be speaking about. It is kind of centralized because an authority controls exactly what goes on. An authority is able to change information or add information on the blockchain. So examples of what a public blockchain is the Bitcoin blockchain and the Ethereum blockchain. So I think those are the most popular types of those are the most popular examples of the public blockchain that we have: the Bitcoin blockchain and the Ethereum blockchain. I'm sure a lot of us must have heard of Ethereum. Yeah, Ethereum is a project that is using the blockchain. So it's basically includes smart contracts. We'll be speaking about that when we come to the uses. And private blockchain, there are very few uses of the private blockchain. So this is not open, and access is restricted to only authorized individuals. And anyone that wants to join the blockchain must request information from whoever the system administrator is. And one of the examples is the Hyperledger, which is a private and a permissioned blockchain. And it's not just only that it is centralized. And let me give a background to that with an example. Say blockchain can be used for health records. So if, for example, I have a diagnosis from an hospital in Lusaka, and I travel down to maybe Dubai, and this hospital or this health facility uses the blockchain for all data, all information. So my data, my information is already on that blockchain. Where the private blockchain comes in is that just anybody cannot access my own information, because it is my information. Not just anybody, not just any medical practitioner should be able to access it. It should remain private. So when I get to an hospital in Dubai and I say, oh yes, you don't have to ask me too many questions, just check my diagnosis on the blockchain. You can have the secret key, or you can gain permission from whoever is in charge. So that's another way. There are some records or there are some information that should be kept private, or should only have access, only certified individuals or authorized individuals will have access to it. So Hyperledger is one example of private and permissioned blockchain. And I think the CBDC, yes, the CBDC too, that's a central bank digital currency, is also a type of it's an hybrid, or it's a type of private blockchain, because not just anybody can have access to it. So say for example the e-Naira, the CBN sees everything that is going on it, but not just anybody. And even banks cannot see exactly all the transactions that are going on across borders that are being done on the e-Naira or through the speed wallet. I think that explains it. If you have any questions, you can put it on the YouTube. You can put it on